What is up, guys? It is Steady Chaos. So what do I think of YouTube TV? Let's talk about it. Alright, so YouTube TV. I've been using the program for about 2 months now. I've completely gotten rid of cable TV, and I have it right here on my LG C1. So what do I think about the app? I'm sure you're in the same boat I was. You're thinking about cutting the cord to your extremely expensive cable TV. You don't really feel like it's a great value. You certainly don't use all the channels, and you just want to stick it to the cable companies who, let's be honest, they just suck. So let me try to inform you as best I can. So you hit the home button on the LG C1 remote, and you have YouTube TV right here. Right off the bat, I occasionally have issues launching the app. I never have issues launching Amazon Prime, Netflix, any of the major streaming apps like that. They might load for 1 or 2 seconds and they pop right up. Sometimes with YouTube TV, I click it and then it'll just spin right here. This spot right here, it'll just spin and spin and spin and spin, and it'll do that endlessly until you have to try to back out of the app. Sometimes I have to restart the TV. I've even had to reinstall the app before. So since I've been at my new house, I have 1 gigabit internet connection. So it's a much better, much faster, much more reliable internet connection. So I haven't had that problem since. So I think it's probably a function of at the previous apartment I was at, the internet was just crap. So let's just chalk it up to that. But just it's noteworthy just to say that it does sometimes get stuck when it loads up. And if you Google it, you'll get a bunch of people asking the same question. Why does YouTube get stuck with a spinning circle when it loads up? So it's a pretty common problem, it would seem. And it's something I never have with Netflix. So we look at the overall app interface. It's pretty good. It does take some getting used to at first. So it'll start out with what's called a home section. So you have your library, which is like your favorites that you've established. Your home, which is basically all of the channels you watch regularly, will be on your home page. Content that YouTube deems relevant to you. If you watch a lot of football, it will recommend college football, NFL, things like that. If you watch a lot of news channels, it'll recommend CNN, Fox, MSNBC, things like that. So that's what your home page is. And live is just the guide. So you click on live, it's the current guide. So if you come to this little money icon in the top right, and you scroll down, I have the base plan right now. So that's watch over 70 channels of live sports, news, shows, movies, and family favorites. Free unlimited DVR storage, 6 accounts per household, and 3 streams allowed on the base plan. Now I have the 4K plan, which adds $15. So the base plan is $65, and then you add $15 right here for 4K plus. It says $10 a month, but they're charging me $15, so I don't know. Maybe it's $10. Either way, if it's $15 when I signed up, that makes it $80 a month. If it's just $10, that makes it $75 a month. So YouTube TV is not exactly cheap. The only 4K HDR or hybrid log gamma programming you will find on YouTube TV is basically marquee sports games. So if it's the World Series, those will be nationally televised in 4K HDR on YouTube. The NBA Finals will probably be 4K HDR. That's it, though. You don't have, base programming, CNN, Fox, TNT, USA, any of that stuff in 4K. It's all standard 1080p, and even some of the streams are 720p, which is not ideal. But far and away, more often than not, you are going to get 1080p and you're going to get 60 frames per second. So you have all kinds of other options you can add in here. You can have HBO Max, NBA League Pass, Entertainment Plus, Sports Plus, Showtime, Stars, Cinemax. Right now, there are a lot of deals. You see 99 cents for 2 months, or a lot of trial low price deals right now for Cyber Monday, Black Friday. Typically, these are more it says $6.99 a month for a Pentea. It's 99 cents for 2 months to start, and then it's $5.99 after that, $5.99. HBO, Screenbox, Fandor, Con TV, all kinds of stuff. So we go back. Now, one thing you should note, and one thing I was very concerned about with YouTube TV is, am I going to get local channels for local news and for local weather forecasts? And am I going to get local sports programming? That is absolutely critical. If I wasn't going to get the Patriots on CBS here, you see the channel CBS, if I wasn't going to get that, if I wasn't going to get NBC Sports Boston for the Celtics games, local Celtics games, then this was going to be a no-go. Thankfully, I have CBS. I get all the Patriots games. I have NBC Sports Boston, so I get all kinds of local sports programming. I get the Boston Celtics. One thing I will say, though, is you do not get Nessun. So if you're in the greater Boston area, if you are in New England and you want to watch the Bruins and you want to watch the Red Sox, Nessun is not part of the package. And another thing I want to talk about, too, is the live feed here, the guide. Look, okay, right now it's 9 a.m. in the morning almost, but the guide's stuck on 9 p.m. For some reason, the guide does not always update itself and remain relevant, because you look here, it's Cleveland Browns at Baltimore Ravens. That was a Sunday night game, but I just fired up YouTube TV and here it shows I'm on 8:20 p.m. when actually it's more like 8:20 a.m. So I don't know what the hell the guide's doing. Let's click live again, see if it fixes it. Now, see, it's still at 9 p.m. So you got to scroll over to try to get to the current programming, which is 7 a.m. So we can put it on Good Morning America. There it is. And then one thing also, the app will occasionally just kick you out. Gone. It doesn't happen often, but I'll be watching the Patriots and boom, kicks me out, gone. It just disappears. I didn't touch any buttons, just... I've never had that happen with Netflix or Prime. Once again, Hulu, I don't know why YouTube TV does this, but it does. So you see Fox... Sportsnet, see upcoming events, Dallas Cowboys at New Orleans Saints in 4 days. That's going to be in 4K hybrid log gamma, so that will look great. Games in HDR look absolutely stunning, especially on an OLED TV. So that's cool. PBS Kids, NECN, My 38, TBS, TNT, all the ESPN channels, SEC if you're really into college sports, ACCN, ESPNU. They have quite a bit of sports programming. ESPN News, FS1, FSN, FS2, NBC Sports, MLB Network, Nickelodeon, Nicktoons, BBC America, CMT, Freeform, Fox, FX, FXM, FXXX, Hallmark. I'm actually paying $5 a month right now for the Hallmark channel. My wife absolutely loves Hallmark Christmas movies. They're pretty terrible, but she likes them, and it's $5 a month. So I figured once January rolls around and she stops watching the Hallmark channel, I can cancel that. So you see here 3 Hallmark channels: MTV, IFC, MTV2, MTV Classics, VH1, Paramount, Pop, TCM, True, USA, National Geographic, Wild, Discovery Channel, Sci-Fi, Travel, TV Land, Bravo, Court TV, Entertainment, Food, HGTV. Oh my God, there's so many channels. Cheddar, CNN, Fox, HLN, NBC News Now, Local Now, Fox Business, Live Now, Fox, TYT, Cozy, Sundance TV. So those are the 70 channels, plus some of the 4K options I get for $75 a month. So that is one really good thing about YouTube, is that your homepage, it understands your viewing tendencies, so it knows I watch the Celtics routinely. So it puts it under my homepage under Top Picks for You. And even though this was recorded 3 days ago, this game, it's still under my homepage. So if I miss the game and I want to go back to it, I can watch it and I can scroll through, skip all the commercials. It automatically DVRs for you. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I don't watch that, but that's recommended. The Crocodile Hunter. And see how it says live? These programs are happening currently, so I wouldn't be able to skip through. But I do watch Terror in the Woods on the Travel Channel often, and that is not live. And that is Season 3, Episode 8, which was aired a long time ago, when it's still sitting under my home, under Top Picks for You. So if I click on this, you're watching Travel Channel, commercial break. Well, let's just skip the commercial break. It's DVR'd. What am I doing? And here we are. So it breaks it all down by category. And it uses an algorithm to stack your home tab here, this whole home tab interface you see right here. It stacks this whole thing with all of your preferences, with all of your viewing tendencies, which is much appreciated. And then you can add things directly into your library so that you don't want to have to search for them in home. So if I go to library, I must have put Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in there because I started watching it a couple weeks ago, and then I think I must have hit add library because I was enjoying it and I never finished it. So if I want, I can go back to that. Most watched, Boston Celtics, Terror in the Woods, Four Christmases. I don't watch Four Christmases often. I was watching it for like 5 minutes the other day, but it saved it. And then Charlize Theron in Atomic Blonde. I watched like half of that. Not a bad movie. I never finished it. So I can go back. You see there's a play button on all of these, so I can go back in and play all of these. Scheduled, things upcoming. I don't watch Roseanne. I don't know why that's in there. Shows, movies. So I think I started watching Maleficent the other day, Kidnap. I sampled like all of these movies for like 10, 20 minutes, and it just saved them for me. It recorded them for me. You do have unlimited DVR, so keep that in mind. So that's pretty much a rundown of YouTube TV. It's not a bad program. It's priced fairly well. If you just want HD, 1080p, 60 frames per second, it's $65 a month for 70 channels. That is cheaper than most cable networks. It's not really cheap, $65 a month, and especially when you tack on the $10 for the 4K 75. And if you were to bundle that, I'm going to be paying after the promotion $120 a month for 1 gigabit internet. So if I packaged in 120 plus 75, you're talking almost $200 a month for YouTube TV and for my 1 gigabit internet. So I could probably find something on Atlantic Broadband, which is my cable provider, for close to $75 a month, like really base cable TV with just HD, no 4K, and I could probably get it at around $200 or just under. So really, when you think about it that way, YouTube TV is not a great value proposition. And also, you make some minor compromises, like I said, with the local sports programming. I don't get NESN, which is huge. It means I don't get the Bruins. I don't get the Red Sox. So that kind of stinks. The app sometimes has issues with connectivity and loading. It's rare, but it does happen. But I'd say overall, the best thing about YouTube TV is probably just the convenience factor. You don't have to worry about cable companies charging you for, little cable boxes for your extra bedrooms, and then charging you, $9 a month to lease all these cable boxes. You don't have to worry about additional DVR boxes being 10, 12, $14 a month leased. You don't have to worry about coax cables. If you have a bunch of smart devices, tablets, laptops, computers, TVs, what have you, if you have smart devices that can play video, then you can basically stream YouTube TV anywhere in your entire house without so much as a single cord, without so much as a single coax cable, without a DVR box, without an HDMI cable. It streams right from your smart device, right on your screen. So that is really convenient, and that's partially why I got YouTube TV. I'm okay making some sacrifices, like I said, with NESN, because now I can put a TV anywhere in my house. Hell, I could put a TV out in my freaking garage, just hook it into a power outlet, and bam, I have YouTube TV. I have, Fox News, CNN, the Celtics. I have all that stuff. So for that reason alone, I really do think YouTube TV is worth it. But keep in mind, you're probably going to get more base programming as part of your base package from cable. You're going to have a more reliable connection. You're not going to have to deal with an app that occasionally cuts out. You're going to have a guide, a TV guide. Like, how I went to live and it wasn't current. It was showing 9 p.m. last night, which it's still doing, 9 p.m. last night. You're going to have a guide that functions properly. If you really do want to cut the cord, I'd recommend you at least look around, sample Sling, sample Hulu and other programs and apps to see maybe if they're a little bit more reliable, maybe if they have a better kind of base or foundation of channels to choose from. And then from there, make a decision. I don't even know how much Hulu is. It might be less. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. If you have any questions about YouTube TV, definitely leave them in the comments down below, and I guarantee I will get back to each and every one of you. All right, guys? I'll see you later.